It's been a rough year for Jim Bob Duggar. Sure, he deserves every bad thing that's happened to him, but that doesn't change the fact that it's been rough for the guy. Of course, the worst thing to happen to the father of 19 in recent months was the arrest and conviction of Josh on CP charges. There was a time when Jim Bob's eldest son was the apple of his eye and his most cherished protege, poised to take over the family business and follow his father's footsteps into the political arena. Those days are long gone, of course, and now, Josh is in solitary confinement in a Fayetteville, Arkansas jail, awaiting an April sentencing hearing. He could be imprisoned for up to 20 years. Most of the Duggars have remained loyal to Jim Bob despite revelations that he enabled his son's behavior and created the culture of abuse that allowed Josh to get away with so much for so long. But one Duggar who's been critical of Jim Bob from the start is the man's rebellious cousin Amy. Amy has never been one to follow her famous uncle's rules, and these days, she must be feeling like her defiance has been fully vindicated. Amy celebrated when Josh was convicted, and she's been open about the fact that she feels justice was served. There was a time when Amy's distaste for Jim Bob and Josh was expressed in very subtle, passive-aggressive ways. But there are days, she's letting her true feelings be known without any fear of backlash. Case in point, earlier this week, Amy's Instagram stories featured a reshared text post describing traits that are common to narcissistic parents. Narcissistic parent doesn't like it when their children become older and embrace individuality, which is a normal development, the post read. They felt threatened because you're escaping their ironclad grip of control and being an extension of them, it continued. Switching from being the golden child to the black sheep initially hurts, but this is truly your road to freedom. Not surprisingly, it didn't take Amy's followers very long to figure out who she was talking about. I wonder who she is talking about. If this post doesn't scream Jim Bob Duggar, I don't know what does, one person commented, according to The Sun. Shots fired, another added. A third person pointed out that Amy appears to be appealing to her cousins with these posts. But thus far, Jim Bob's kids have yet to take the bait. Amy regularly lobs these grenades at the senior Duggars and tries to love bomb her cousins into getting a reaction, yet they don't acknowledge her existence, they wrote. This is not the first time that Amy has psychoanalyzed her problematic cousin and uncle. Back in December, Amy posted about the traits of a sociopath, and on that occasion too, fans quickly concluded that the commentary was inspired by either Josh or Jim Bob or both. Lack of remorse, guilt or empathy, constant deception, inability to form emotional attachments, superficial charm, dishonesty, manipulative, reckless behavior, she wrote at the time. And Amy isn't limiting her shade-throwing to Instagram. On TikTok this week, Amy and husband Dylan King played a game called Questions for Couples. Whose family sucks more? Read one of the first questions. Without missing a beat, both parties pointed at Amy. Amy insisted that she had no idea that was going to be a question on that TikTok we just did. That was kind of perfect, she laughed. We're guessing Jim Bob wasn't as thrilled with the segment. But of course, that's the point.